Hello, everybody, and welcome to another New Horizons Career Development Solution presentation of how to cybersecurity career. A little bit about what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to look at about us, who we are, what gives us the authority to speak on this topic. Also going to dive into why cybersecurity, why are we excited about cybersecurity? Why are you excited about cybersecurity? And why should a lot of people be excited about cybersecurity? That's when I'm going to hand it over to Sarah. She's also going to talk a little bit about some questions to consider before pursuing a cybersecurity career. It's not for everyone, right? We want to make sure that if you do go along this path, we're not leading you facetiously down a career path that may not be the right fit for you. So take a look at the questions that we're going to have posed when we get to that section. Then there is best practices to transition to a new career. So if it is for you, transitioning, even if you've never done cybersecurity, you've never worked in IT, the transition possible, and there's certain skills that you can learn to transition to any new career, specifically cybersecurity. We're also going to debunk some myths about degrees and certifications. One of these hot careers in cybersecurity, people may think, well, I need a big time degree or spend a lot of time, tons of years to learn this, and it's just simply not true. And Sarah's going to talk a little bit more about that. We'll also talk about some funding options available to you to kickstart your career in cybersecurity. There is some time is involved. It's not years and years, but there is some dedication from you. And if you're in it, we want to offer some funding options available to you to help support your decision to jump into a cybersecurity career. And ultimately, we'll show you how we can help you transition. And at the very end, a lot of people love hearing about this, our $100 Amazon gift card that is available to you. We're going to talk about the details, how you can get that Amazon gift card. So make sure you stick around to the very end to hear how you can get that. First off, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for your time. And we are going to have questions. I said it a little bit in the beginning, but for anybody that's joining later, we'll have some time for questions at the end. Go ahead and put them in the chat box. We'll go ahead and review the chat box towards the end of the presentation. I think the question and answer is there as well. Who are we? New Horizons Career Development Solutions, a full range of training solutions. We teach anything from desktop applications such as Microsoft, this PowerPoint that you're seeing, having to get your skills up on Excel, Word, Outlook, basic computer applications, right? And then we also teach technical solutions such as cloud and big data, virtualization, hooking up servers and connecting to the internet, and cybersecurity, of course, is one of those technical areas that we have expertise. So really across the board, as well as business skills, such as project management, professional development, communication skills, such as delivering a presentation on why the company needs to invest in cybersecurity, showing what would happen if your company got hacked. If you learn cybersecurity, you're going to have to face, you're going to have to utilize these skills in the workplace. And so we really package it up, and Sarah's going to talk a bit more about how those support a cybersecurity career with time management, management development, and things like that. We also offer a guarantee of expert coaches with a passion for professional development growth. These aren't just teachers that are going to regurgitate material. These are people that have worked in the field of the industry that you're learning about. They have the real world experience. You're also going to be able to network with other working professionals who are going through the career training with you. So these aren't, recent high school graduates, although we do have some early birds that get the worm, but you have a lot of working professionals and adults just like yourself who are going through our career training. We also offer workforce and funding partnerships. We have those partnerships, and we'll be able to let you know about them, and you'll be able to get those through those if you qualify, and we'll talk about those qualifications and everything towards the end of the presentation. We are a trusted training partner with our business clients. We actually offer training to a lot of businesses, and what that does is it allows us to be more reputable in the space, so that when people go through career training with us, businesses that are hiring New Horizons Career Development Solutions graduates know, hey, they're getting the same training our employees, would be getting. And so we've been training companies that are on the Fortune 100 list for a number of years. And now we want to talk about cybersecurity. I want to bring up Sarah Olson, who's an amazing education advisor out of our Las Vegas office. And she has been working with a number of students who have gone into IT, cybersecurity, office management, all across the board, people who have had a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of skill and just needed a boost of a certification to get ahead, all the way to people who have zero experience and have gotten ahead through career training. So Sarah, I want to kick it over to you and let you give some people some details, as well as offer some real world stories for us about careers in cybersecurity. Go ahead, Sarah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for coming and spending some time with us this morning. And, this is going to be a shorter presentation, shorter webinar to go over some of the basics of cybersecurity. And we'll be going over your question in the presentation, Otis. So I'm looking forward to answering that for you as we go through. And yeah, thank you for the time. I can't wait to hop into it. So let's do this, Jesse. Awesome. So here are some of the many. There were a ton of job paths to list here. So I actually ran out of room. There are so many specialties within cybersecurity, but here are some of them. So you'll see security generalist, network security, cloud security is becoming more popular, application security. You have IAM, which is identity and access management, security architecture, penetration tester. That's where a lot of people think about like being a professional white hat hacker, right? Those are pen testers. You've got forensics, and the list does go on, but we'll leave it at that. There's a ton. And so, yes, there are a lot of different specialties within cybersecurity, and there's a lot of different ways you can go. Cybersecurity usually have about 2 to 3 years of experience in field, so there are some entry-level certification paths to get you started. What's great about cybersecurity is that it is growing, and the demand is growing, especially, I mean, think about all of the individuals that are working from home right now that weren't, the need for cybersecurity is huge. And I don't see it going away anytime soon. I see that it's going to be growing in both network and cloud security in the future. And so this is what I was talking about for growth rate. So the average occupational growth rate for all of the data for the Bureau of Labor Statistics averages about 5%, but 32% is for information security analysis. So you can see that it is growing exponentially to the point where companies are having a hard time filling those positions because there aren't enough qualified individuals to be able to take that role, which is where we can come in and be able to support individuals to get those entry-level certifications to start down this pathway. Be mindful where I said start down this pathway, right? Which is why these questions are so important. So I'm going to go through each of them. And this is something that I want you to ask yourself, but this is something that would be covered in a career assessment with an education advisor, because what we do is we will start with your work history and we go through what you want to do in the future and we fill in that knowledge gap, right? When we develop a plan to get you to where you want to go as your advocate. But looking at these questions, do you have prior experience in IT or cybersecurity? Do you have certifications that are relevant within the world of IT? Is there a technology that you need to learn first? Yes, there is. That's the key. That's a trick question. And what skills would you need to enter in this career field? What kind of experience do you need? Will there be a lot of traveling? Are there entry level and internship opportunities available to you in your area? And what are the career advancement opportunities? How far can you take this? And so let's talk about best practices. Now, this isn't just for cybersecurity. So this is for any career transition, cybersecurity, IT networking, servers, office administration. If you're switching careers in general, these are the things that you want to think about. So do you have computer skills, right? Do you have the technology? Do you have the knowledge of the technology that the company is currently utilizing? And you can find those key tips usually on the job description right there. They'll tell you exactly what they're looking for. Do you have trade skills? That's where certifications would come in, right? That's where a degree would come in, depending on what you want to specialize in. And interviewing skills, right? How are you going to be noticed? How are you going to stand out? How are you going to walk away and that employer is going to say, how did we live without this person for so long, right? That's your key objective in the interview. And networking. It's huge. And I don't mean IT networking. I mean networking within other individuals within the industry that you're either in or the industry that you want to transition to. It's so important to be able to be on LinkedIn or be a part of a community with like-minded individuals, because those are always the best jobs. And reach out for support. I cannot stress this enough. You know, call your friends, call family. If you haven't talked to someone in a while, reach out to them, see how they're doing. You never know if you can help them or if they can help you in some way. Be a part of your community. We're going to be talking about some community partners that we have further on down the presentation that would be able to support you as well. And of course, an education advisor, right? Someone who specializes in supporting individuals to make a career transition is absolutely huge. All right, and debunking myths about degrees versus certifications. So I have to give another shout out to Miss Tiffany David, who gathered this information. I'm going to pull up some stats I want to share. A lot of people come to me with this question. Do I need a degree in order to get into IT? No, actually, not necessarily. You see my puppy in the background? Wait, let's get a little... There's a little snippet. So Junior, the bulldog, says, no, you don't need an IT degree to get into IT per se. What I have found is that individuals that do have degrees still need to obtain certification at the end of their training in order to get their foot in the door. Theory is great, and it's great for leadership roles, but it's not necessary for an entry-level role. Okay, so some of the stats that I want to cover real quick, because I'm a numbers girl. So about 26% of IT workers do not hold a bachelor's degree or higher. About 2/3 of CompTIA certification candidates do not hold a 4-year degree. And about half of the 2.3 million IT jobs surveyed in 2017 didn't post that they needed a degree to be able to apply for the role. So that's just giving you some ideas there. Joel, I do see your question that you have a master's degree in cybersecurity. The resources for people currently applying for cybersecurity jobs, I would definitely reach out to an education advisor and see if we can get you in touch with one of our workforce partners, in addition to potentially seeing if there are any certifications that'll complement your master's degree, like a CISSP certification. Yes, the Facebook groups are great. All right. All right. So this is going into our partners. So these are some commonly asked questions, but what WIOA is it's the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. And there are partners within our local communities that support individuals with training and career support. It's all grants. It's you don't have to pay it back. So it's a great program. As long as your vocational goal is to obtain employment, they are going to support you with eliminating barriers to employment. I've seen them do some crazy, amazing things, everything from simply paying for a certification exam voucher and interview clothes, gas cards, all the way up to rent abatement, where they'll help you pay your rent for a month or two while you're looking for a job. It can be some amazing things. They're named differently in each state and each area. And right now, since a lot of them are working exclusively remotely, the best way to get in touch with them is to reach out to us, where we already have the relationship, so we can refer you directly over to them to make sure that you don't fall within the cracks. Think about how many people are looking for support right now. And we would be more than happy to do that. And that would give you a step ahead because you would already know what your vocational goals are. And some more funding options available to you. So we do have Climb Credit, which is a short-term student loan financer. I really enjoy working with Climb Credit, and the reason is because they are short-term. So personal experience, my first trade was medical billing and coding. Okay, I took out a $20,000 loan for an 8-month program I'm still paying on. And guess what? I'm an education advisor for a completely different industry, right? If I took out a short-term loan, in this case, it's 4 years, 4 to 5 years given, I would have already paid it off, right? And so the great part is that they only have programs listed with them that have job projections, and it's a really great program. If you do apply for it, does not count against your credit. The only time that you're going to have a hard inquiry on your credit is once you're approved. And the payments range from anywhere from like $100 to $250 a month, depending on which program you're doing. It's really simple, and they're very, very lenient with our students, and they'll work with you. So if you need a cosigner, they're going to let you know. It's not going to count against your credit for a second time. So we would be more than happy to get in touch and show you a little bit more about it. I'm considered the like the all-knowing when it comes to Climb Credit, so I would love to be able to support you myself as well. And a little bit more about WIOA. So going into that, New Horizons will help you with your vocational goals. WIOA is going to help you with the employment portion of that, right? And make sure that you are not stressing about anything as you're studying, right? That's like the biggest thing. You don't want any stress when you're studying. You want to be focused 110% on what it is that you're up to. You want to get certified. So they really help with that, and they'll help with your interviewing skills. They'll help with your resume. We help with your resume as well. So you have 2 people, right? You have 2 entities supporting you with getting back to work. And a little bit more about how we can support with a career transition. So this is the flow. So it starts with a career assessment. An education advisor will spend anywhere from a half an hour to an hour and a half with you and learn more about you, learn more about your background, learn more about what you're up to and what you want to do. If it's reasonable within your vision, right? If it's going to be a short-term goal or if it's going to be a long-term goal, and there's multiple steps to get you there, right? And that goes back to cybersecurity. You start entry level and then you start working your way up. An education advisor will help you with that plan. And then we build a training program for you. Then we conduct the career training. So you'll be able to spend time with an instructor, spend time with mentors, and really get all of the knowledge soaked in for you to be able to pass that certification exam. And then we do have placement assistance with our partners. For example, Las Vegas is One Stop Career Center, Arizona's Arizona at Work, Department of Workforce Services in Utah, and there's a ton of different entities to be able to support you in California as well. Now, I did want to cover all of the programs that we do have. So we don't just have cybersecurity, right? We have a lot more than that. And we run a lot of classes every year, as Jesse mentioned earlier in the presentation. And so we go anywhere from office administration, project management, and other areas of IT. So network, database, systems administration or sysadmin, and software development programs. And so going a little bit further into in-demand careers for each of those, just lightly. So for office administration, think about office clerks and education administrators, someone like myself, customer service. If you think about it, office administration skills really do go into the bare basic necessity of an office worker at this day and age, especially now, right, with all of us working from home. And then we go into project management. Now, project management skills can be used in a lot of different areas as well, but some general ones that come to mind typically would be IT project management, construction project management. If you're in Las Vegas like me, there's a lot of project managers that work for the hospitality industry. You have many analysis roles, right? So whether it's quality control, quality assurance, and anything at a higher level where there's a lot of moving parts. And then IT programs in general. So you've got your sysadmins, right? You've got your information systems managers, cybersecurity. Also like database, right? So data analysis as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get into it. And here are some of the companies that we have placed students in, or students have received, have been placed in and are now working after their program with us here at New Horizons. So we have Raytheon, Warner Brothers, which would be super cool, Zion's Bank, General Atomics, Northrop Grumman. And this is just a small little snapshot, right? If you saw the list, you would really blow you away. All right, questions?
Sarah, it looks like we got a few in the chat box. I want to give you some time to read those. If you have any questions about starting your career, I know there were some questions specifically about cybersecurity, and then I also know there were questions about our training in general. So let's go ahead and start off with the one that you saw, Sarah, from the beginning, Dr. Otis Walker. Let's take that one first. Cybersecurity field certifications, is it necessary that one must fully understand the OSI model layers?
Nice. Actually, I would say yes. But the reason would be is I would actually want you to speak one-on-one with one of our mentors on it. So Dr. Otis Walker, why don't you give us your contact information so I can have a mentor reach out to you?
I'm going to put a blog in the chat box as well, Dr. Walker, about the OSI, the 7-layer model and cybersecurity. One of our solutions architects actually wrote that up, and it's going to have some more information about that. So Sarah, let's move on to the next question while I get that link going. I think, did you answer Joel's about master degree?
I did, Joel. If you have any more questions, I would throw another one in there. I'd love to answer it for you. And let's see, are your programs in-class based or online based? Well, right now they are 100% online remote. We do have physical locations throughout California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah, but we are doing the training remote at this time. It's really cool though. We've had the capacity of doing remote training 15 years plus. So with that being said, we use a platform called Adobe Connect, and we also use a web-based virtual lab for you to do your troubleshooting. And your instructor can see everything that you're doing. So you can see your instructor, you can type to your classmates, you can talk to them through a headset or your microphone on your laptop. And then you can see all of the content that your instructor is covering while you're actively troubleshooting at the same time. What's really cool is that since the instructor can see everything that you're doing, if you get lost somewhere along the way, the instructor can either remote in and take over your mouse and show you, or they can tell you verbally as they're watching.
Awesome. I had a question in the question and answer section. Kimberly is asking if you are already at a director level IT, but want to switch from applications to security, how can you do this?
There's a certification I have in mind for you. And I'm sure that the education advisor that you speak with is going to know. Have you heard of a CISSP certification?
CISSP is going to be the answer for that one. A lot of these programs and directions and paths that the questions are coming in that are very specific to you and your situation can be best answered by the person in your area. So if you can leave your city and state in the chat box or in the question box, then we'll be able to get you in touch with somebody who can answer that specific path for you, because many times the paths vary by location, even though the certifications are available everywhere, right? The career outlook in certain areas varies. I want to jump to Craig's question in the Q&A as well. What is the first certification? So we had the CISSP for the director level to transition. Now we're talking, what is the certification you would recommend for a career changer looking to get into cybersecurity from a completely unrelated field with no experience?
Oh, I would love to answer that question. So there's a starting point for everyone. Okay. Now this starting point is going to be the same no matter which area you live in. Okay. And it's going to be starting in general. You're going to start with a CompTIA A+ certification. Okay. It's not quite cybersecurity yet, but that is your first step for your long-term goal to cybersecurity. And so that covers hardware and software troubleshooting, right? So not just for computers, but laptops, tablets, cell phones, printers, and other mobile devices. And that's really your starting point. And I highly recommend that you let us reach out to you and give you a full pathway of your end goal. I really do. I'm so excited for you.
Sounds like Lisha is talking about taking CompTIA A+. Print is probably difficult. I think printers are difficult for everyone, but A+ is a great place to start to really learn the basics of technical troubleshooting. And then that will kickstart you over into cybersecurity. Is that what you're saying, Sarah?
Yes, that's your starting point.
Awesome. I think Ramin has a question as well. How to get in touch with NH Career Development Solutions for an assessment in California, Orange County. I'm an IT professional for 20 years, have 10 years of leadership and management skills, but out of work for almost 2 years. I'm sorry to hear about that. It's unfortunate that, you know, some people with skills, you know, are trying to find work, especially in this time, and it's very difficult. And sometimes the career programs really help kickstart that, making that resume fresh, like you were talking about, Sarah, that resume help and interviewing skills thing. How can somebody get in touch with us, Sarah?
So there's 2 ways that you can do it. You can call us, right? And we'll have our contact information after this slide if you stay. Or you can go on our website. So if you're a little shy, if you go on our website, you'll be able to fill out a contact us form. But your education advisor in the OC area is named Lisa Newcomb, and she has a lot of experience with supporting individuals in the same exact situation as you. So perfect pair. I couldn't have asked for more. You're gonna be very happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll have the ways to connect with us on the following slide. I just want to make sure that we get all the questions about cybersecurity answered. Denise says, can you explain about cybersecurity job and the growth of this field? I'm going to try to jump back to a few slides, Sarah, so that you can speak to that. The growth. There we go.
And so it's growing at 32%. I was going to say 25, thinking at the top of my head, but it's even higher than what I was going to say. And the growth continues to compound as the years go on, because there are a lot of jobs and a lot of specific roles that you can take within this world of cybersecurity, and not everyone is qualified to do it, right? And so that's where, like saying, I want, if you have a degree and no certification, you're a half qualified candidate, right, for the world of cybersecurity. But when it comes to the different pathways, there's a lot of ways that you can go. I mean, you can go into network security where you're protecting the network. You can go into cloud security, which is growing. You can go into penetration testing, or what's pen testing for short, which are professional certified hackers. There's a lot of different ways you can go, Denise. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we've already been chatting. I believe you're speaking with Tiffany. So Tiffany can go through a full breakdown of each career. And she's one of the most detailed people I know.
Perfect.
So she'd be great. So I hope that
Absolutely.
called it. Have fun, Denise. Yeah, you and Tiffany can have some fun together. Awesome.
Yep. And then Lisha's asking, so is it suggested to start as a computer tech IT help desk position prior to actual cybersecurity positions?
What I'm going to say is I highly recommend that you go on Indeed or ZipRecruiter and you start looking at the prerequisites for the roles, because what you're going to start seeing is work experience, right? And so if we can support you to get a help desk role or a networking role or a entry-level cloud role, that's going to support you to transition into cybersecurity. It is a long-term road. It is a long-term goal.
I had a question that came off of Facebook, and it looks like Douglas is asking something pretty similar here too. Do you have certifications for DoD risk management framework security? On Facebook, somebody else was asking about the DoD and how cybersecurity can prepare you for a field in the DoD. Yeah. I just want to bring up one of the slides we have for our placement. Northrop Grumman, General Atomics, Raytheon, all are huge DoD contractors. Kick a little bit more to your experience with DoD and cybersecurity.
Yeah, so that's a huge one. Every state's different, so every program's different. So what I'm going to say again, sorry, Douglas, reach out to your local education advisor or drop your information so I can have your local education advisor work with you, because we have different certification paths in different states depending on what the economy needs, right? And so short story is we do have certifications that are needed to be a prerequisite for the DoD 8570 initiative. And for those who are asking DoD, you already know what that is. It's a list of required certifications for different levels within DoD or Department of Defense.
Absolutely.
For those that don't know.
I'll put a blog link as well to I'm like the master blogger of all the blog information to all the the certifications that are requirements for the DoD 8570 initiative, and I'll put that in there so that you can take a look at those, and when you reach out to a education advisor, you'll be able to talk about those. It's like there's a lot of questions that the answer was get in touch with an education advisor, get in touch with an education advisor. So let me bring up the information about how to contact us. First of all, many people have been finding us on Facebook. So I want to thank everybody watching on Facebook and who has connected with us. We do also have LinkedIn, which is more of the professional connection. When you get through a program with us, you'll hear everybody say, do you have your LinkedIn? Is your LinkedIn up? So go ahead and connect with on LinkedIn, and that'll be a great way to kind of build the community, see things that we're posting. A lot of these blogs that I'm sharing in the chat will be out over on our LinkedIn, as well as our Instagram and Twitter we do have as well. But if you want to contact somebody, that's going to be based off of where you are. So if you are interested in getting connected with a career advisor, go ahead and leave your email or your phone number or both in the chat box or in the Q&A, or message them to us directly if you want to stay more private about it, and give us your city and state, and we'll be able to get somebody in touch with you today, right after we finish this webinar. We'll be able to give that information to your education advisor, and they'll go ahead and contact you. So go ahead and leave your information in the chat box or the Q&A box, and we'll go ahead and get in touch with you. If not, again, like Sarah said, careerdevelopmentsolutions.com. I do want to thank everybody for staying. A lot of you have been participating, and I want to give back and let you know that if you know somebody that is interested in cybersecurity or any of the other programs that we've mentioned, who may be unemployed or dislocated, or even somebody that is looking to get ahead, that has a career, maybe you're and want to transition from you're saying about applications to security, or move up from help desk into cybersecurity, any friends or family or former coworkers or current coworkers that would be interested in these programs, go ahead and make a referral. And when that student enrolls and starts class, you'll get a $100 Amazon gift card. The limit of 1 per year, but you can refer as many people as you want. And refer 10 people. Hopefully, one of them starts class. You'll get that Amazon gift card. So an easy way to share the love about these programs and about the certifications and funding available to us and to you for the $100 Amazon gift card. That link, I'll go ahead and send that out in the follow-up email. So everybody that attended will get a follow-up email, and we'll include that link. So watch for that email, and go ahead and just click the link. You fill out the person's information, and we'll take care of the rest. With that, the tmont@nhlearninggroup.com. If you don't have your career advisor selected yet, like Sarah was calling out, we had Lisa and we had Tiffany. If you don't know who your career advisor is yet, go ahead and just call that number or email us, and we'll get you in touch with somebody. One other question that came in off of Facebook was Bell is asking about the payment being deferred for Credit Climb. Are the payments deferred for Credit Climb?
So the payments start 1 month in. So say you start your training 1 month, and then the following month payments will start then.
Perfect.
That could have changed. Reach out to an education advisor. I know it's my MO, guys, but they may have more information for you.
Perfect. Yeah, I believe that the payments are deferred, and I'll go and drop the link to the 8570 article right there. So I just put that in, and a couple of final questions. Okay, Yvette is interested. Yvette, can you let us know what city and state you're in so that we can do that email address over to somebody? Lisha, thank you so much for all the comments. I love them. What are entry-level positions to recommend excluding help desk?
Okay, so entry-level roles excluding help desk. So there's one called bench technician. You can do, depending on which training you're pursuing, right, for an entry-level role, you can do like a network support, computer support, where you're not strictly help desk. When it comes to
cybersecurity,
entry-level cybersecurity, that's going to differ for each area. I'm just going to let you know right now. It's going to differ for each area.
Perfect.
Great question.
Any other? Yeah, absolutely. These are great questions. I love how knowledgeable everybody is, and it sounds like you are all done your due diligence to start your career path. Thanks, Lisha. And also, if you have any questions in the Q&A, let me check Facebook to make sure that we've answered everything. Yep, DoD certifications are key. So I put those in the chat box. All right. Again, if you want to have anybody reach out to you today, go ahead and leave your phone number and email. Yvette, I want to make sure I get you connected to the right person. And Sarah, is there any final story that you want to share? Anybody that you've seen enter into cybersecurity personally that over the time that you've been with New Horizons?
Yeah, I'll share one of my favorites. Not that I pick favorites, guys, but one that comes to mind is I have a student who was a transitioning veteran at the time, and he was a project manager in the military, and he just didn't know what he wanted to do. And he knew that he had a passion for IT, so we took it a step at a time. And we started with entry-level IT, right? So CompTIA A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, get him his basics. And then he got really passionate about it. I mean, he would come to school the next day and say, Sarah, I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning because I got a whole bunch of new gear and I'm tearing it apart. And I've got virtual machines and I'm teaching myself Linux and I'm learning how to hack and all of this stuff. He ended up getting a job with the city of Las Vegas, and he makes way more than I could ever imagine making. And every single time I talk to him, it's just amazing to see how meek and how nervous he was about his career transition. And he's just truly just turned everything around and is like the cybersecurity master. It's the coolest thing, guys. I mean, if it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you think that you're going to be passionate about and something that you want to, geek out on, and, you lose sleep over and you're passionate about it and it gets you excited, then go for it. It's gonna be, don't stand in front of yourself. Don't hold back. Go for it. And this is the perfect time to do it. It's no better time, really.
Wow, what an inspiration. Thank you, Sarah. Again, we're a few minutes over, but I want to thank everybody for your time. CareerDevelopmentSolutions.com is the website if you want more information. On behalf of New Horizons Career Development Solutions, my name is Jesse Daniel Amos, our marketing manager, and Sarah, thank you for your presentation. Amazing job as always.
Thank you. Thanks for spending time with us, guys. Have a good one.